I'm trying to make a video on concentrated liquidity. It's probably the 5th attempt. So this time will be the one. Let's try and explain concentrated liquidity to people that kind of understand but not quite. Not financial advice, any of this. And also, you should probably have an understanding of how LP works. If you don't, then maybe I'll make a video about that. I think I might have already and poorly explained it there too. So CLP is basically providing liquidity at a certain range of prices of a token pair. So in this case, you have a volatile stable pair like ETH/USDC. Say you're providing $10,000, you get to choose the ratio because you're choosing the range, right? And yeah, you basically are providing within this range, and because it's efficient, you get really high APRs. So say your range was, you want to basically provide liquidity when ETH is a price of 2100 to 2800 USDC or USDC worth of ETH, right? So when ETH is at those prices, your liquidity will be earning APR from the volume traded in this range. Volumes like the gas, the DeFi, and volume, either high volume, and depending on how much liquidity you perform and how tight your range is, will determine your APR. So if this range is tighter, say you're doing this, right? Your range is tighter, you're gonna get a higher APR. The issue is that once you're above the range in a stable volatile pair, you'll sell the performing asset into the stable, so you'll max out your gains because you won't have any ETH. Say ETH keeps going up above 28 to like 4,000 or something, and below the range, you're gonna basically be in all ETH. So if ETH is dropping like it was over here, and this was your range, you would be underwater. You wouldn't have the 10 grand because you're holding all ETH and ETH keeps dropping, right? So the downside is below the range, you're gonna be losing money unless you're hedged, right? If you're hedged, then you should be able to mitigate those losses pretty significantly. You can hedge using gamma swap and math I don't understand. You could also hedge with perp dex and math I don't understand. You could also hedge with probably options. Unlike the gamma swap perpetual options, just like an options protocol, I'm sure you can do that too. With math, again, I don't understand, and if you do, then learn more about that. But me, I'm not the person to try and explain advanced math to you because I'm not good at that shit. I'm sure there'll be a protocol down the road that allows you to hedge stable volatile pairs and basically lock in as much value from your initial like TVL that you want to provide. So yeah, if you're in a volatile pair, as the tokens move up in price, you basically will earn the increasing price of each token. So say let's say you're in ETH and BTC and they both move up 25%, you're going to get that 20% on your position. So you're going to get that extra $2,500 on your position, and you're also going to be earning the fees, right? Once they're within the range, right? So this range can move on a volatile pair. Say this is your range here, it can move up as price moves up on a volatile pair. Going to Uniswap, you see this pool. So this is the ETH/USDC pool on Uniswap v3. 166 million TVL, 24 million of volume, 11.9k fees in the last 24 hours. So this is basically what you're trying to capture a piece of by providing a certain range within this pool. So you click on add liquidity, you come here and you say, what the hell is all this? So basically you're saying, I want my liquidity to be within this range. And once you're within this range, you would deposit. So say, and see how it's 5,000 here and this there. It's because the price of ETH right now, it's not in the middle, basically, right? So if you move this to the middle, so like you move this to around the same thing there, it's going to be closer to equal, right? But if you're expecting downside or upside or whatever you're expecting, you want to stay in range, then your ratios are going to be different. right? So in this situation, you'd probably be expecting ETH to increase in price because you have more wiggle room to kind of give it room to grow or something along those lines. That's probably a bad explanation. Don't worry about what I just said. Forget I said that. But yeah, that's kind of it. You're providing a range of prices that you think it's going to trade in. And let's go BTC. Right? Whereas on the volatile. Right? This is the range here. Right? So, yeah, that's kind of what concentrated liquidity is. You can use this. You can use Aperture. This is a great program because you can automate a bunch of this stuff. And then you can use metrics to simulate a bunch of this stuff too. So say you go simulate here, and say you have $10,000 and you think that you want to provide liquidity to USDC ETH pool when the Ethereum price is between $2,000 to $4,000. You're expecting ETH to go up, so you're not worried about selling into USDC because you just buy back your ETH. And your range is relatively large. You're off your 10 grand, you're earning $10 a day, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually a decent amount of money. Because if you do this consistently, and for whatever reason, ETH and USDC trade within this range for like a month, and then it breaks out later, like, would you make gosh, I'm so bad at math now. $270 or whatever, like ish, or maybe $300, right? If you're getting about $10 a day. Now, say it's also calculating that off the last 30 days. So, like, maybe reduce that if you, depending on how long you plan to keep a position like this. That's at least what I would do. Sorry, that's what I would do. But yeah, like, say you tighten your range and you're going to be holding this for 5 days, right? Say you think that the price of ETH you can use this like trading and getting APR for your trades almost. But say you think ETH's going to go up, but because what's it at now? 3 grand. Say you don't think ETH's going to go back down below this kind of range high, which it broke out of. Maybe it will test it, but not for long. So say I might go 26.50. Then I think the range is going to go up to, I want to sell out at an ETH price of, say, $3,300. I think that ETH will tap this range over the next 5 days multiple times, and yeah, it'll eventually break out. I can then go create this position, and over those 5 days I'll be earning $27. So like we said in the first example, you're earning $10, and over a month, say you hit a big range and you're making $300 off your 10 Gs in a month. 5 days you're making about 100, but almost half of that, if not more than half of that, off of 5 days. So because your APR is so high, like you're getting 100% APR over those 5 days, right? So a cool way to kind of like trade, earn yield. I kind of like to chill, bigger ranges, volatile pairs, so you kind of catch the upside of both tokens. But like, if you have a hedged position like this and you have a decent amount of money, say you had 100 grand, and you want to just kind of chill and take it easy and provide liquidity at like a decent amount. So say you don't care about optimal, like peak optimal performance, but you don't think ETH is going to drop below 2 grand, and you want to provide liquidity from 2 to 5, and you have 100 grand, that's still $73 a day. Like, that's still 26% APR for as long as this position is open. If you're holding this for 10 days, that's $730, right? So yeah, it's just like that's what it is, capital efficiency. Yeah. And say the volume goes up, right? Say, let's see, maybe there's more volume. Oh, I can't do that because I'm not special enough because I didn't pay. I think I would pay for this eventually. So say in the last few days how everything's been pumping, like and you have higher volumes and this and that, this is ranging over those last few days, your APR is changing. You're actually getting 37 now. So it's all, everything's like kind of variable, but you know, you risk the downside unless again you're hedged and you kind of are okay to eat in some of those profits for protection, which I think is smart, especially in a stable volatile pair. Your APR is going to go down a little bit, but like, yeah, this is some really cool shit that you can actually do just on crypto rails. So hopefully that explains it for somebody, and hopefully, yeah, you know, you figure out how to use this stuff and you choose to or not, you know. But yeah, okay, that's the video. I hope it makes sense. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. If I can't answer them, then you know you might need to use AI or find a better source of information. Okay, you all have a good night. Take it easy. Peace.